The following program contains names, places, and events that have been anonymized or fictionalized for the purposes of protection and safety. The following program is provided for entertainment purposes only, and any commentary from the hosts are strictly conjecture and should not be held as making any definitive statements about the truth or identity of any particular individuals or circumstances. If you or a loved one are involved in an abusive relationship, please call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233 for support.
Hello, happy Monday.
Hello, everybody.
Well, so
say no
listen.
more.
So, okay. First of all, I just want to say thank you. Thank you guys for listening, and thank you for everything you do to support us, including our Patreoners. And if you haven't joined the Patreon yet, it's only $5 a month. Join the Patreon. But we like to continue the conversation on Patreon with our Patreoners. So thank you for supporting us there. So we'll link the Patreon in the show notes. Yeah. And also, I want to show gratitude for all of you that just keep sharing the podcast with your friends and have other people listen. We just think it's so cool. And we love that you're connecting us with other people who, need a sense of community. So we're glad that you're sharing. Thank you so much.
This is a very powerful community. A lot of different people who come together to help each other because we want better. I mean, the last 2 weeks episode, part 1, part 2, has I'm still feeling very heavy from it. And a lot of the conversations on Patreon and social everywhere, a lot of you have shared your own experiences with domestic violence and assault and just any kind of mistreatment like that. And I don't take it for granted that people feel so safe here, no matter who they are. And I want that to continue. We always say the National Domestic Violence Hotline phone number at the beginning of our episodes, but we wanted to emphasize that here. It's in the show notes, 1-800-799-7233 for support.
Yeah,
I hear my own voice every time we start listening.
I like that because I think there's a lot of people who are going through stuff that don't realize what they're experiencing. And so they might not know that there are resources. So I'm glad that that's available.
The value of it is that that's the one to call because it connects you to resources in your area or resources to the specifics of whatever you need. It's a very good general first step.
A lot of people don't even know it exists. A lot of people just feel so alone, and you're not. You have resources and you don't realize that you do, but you do. There are resources out there. So thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah. But we wanted to do a Mackenzie Undercover episode this week because I need it, girl. We haven't done one in a while, and I just want to feel like I am in the passenger seat of your surveillance car, catching the bad guys and being a bad bitch.
Everybody says, I want to do a ride along. And
this is the next best thing, getting to listen to it while we're driving.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So I'm actually working on compiling a list of new private investigator, what is it, must-haves for a new PI kit. And it's going to be a whole bunch of fun stuff.
Genius.
I know, a whole bunch of stuff from Amazon that I think you should have in your car, and snacks that I love, and different things that you need. And I'm going to do a whole video on it. That'll be really fun though, because a lot of people are like, how do I be a PI?
Even if you're not being a PI, I would still want a safety kit for my car. Maybe we do a Dating Detectives. Okay, guys, I'm putting my marketing hat on. I'm gonna set a separate meeting for this.
Keep working on that. Okay, so are you ready to dive into my Mackenzie Undercover?
Yes, I'm ready.
I like to see your smile. I'm so glad. I know it's been a little bit of a crazy week, so I'm glad to see your smile.
Yours too.
So I know a lot of you guys like the Mackenzie Undercover, and just so you guys know, the Mackenzie Undercover stories, the PI stories I can legally tell you that I share on my social media, I also like to share them on the podcast sometimes. So there's a lot of different ears. Some people that listen to the podcast don't follow my social media and vice versa. So if you hear it twice, I'm sorry, but this is one I've never told before.
Oh, yay. Okay, love that. But also I was just going to say, when you expand on the stories on the podcast, I love the snappy ones. I mean, I have ADHD, I need the 2-minute video. But there's so much detail in how you're feeling.
Yes. And you can kind of explain a little bit more. So Hannah, I'm going to let you start it. How does my Mackenzie Undercover usually start?
Let me think. Did someone call you and say, I think my husband's cheating?
Yes.
What? Stop it right now. That's
usually how my stories start. I get a call from a husband or I get a call from a wife. So this one was, I got a call from a woman. She was concerned about her husband cheating. So you're absolutely right. Some of these stories go off the rails. I never know if Hannah's going to guess what happens. Okay, so I get a call from this woman. She's concerned about her husband cheating because he has been working really late, which is really common. Like, oh, he's working late and he would come home. He would totally ignore the house, the dogs, like everything, and just ignore her completely. Like he was just very, standoffish, and he would go straight to the shower, straight to bed, whatever. So I personally don't do a lot of cheating cases. Like I've done a fair share, but I don't do a whole, I tried not to make it a whole full career out of it, and I didn't. So I did a lot of insurance stuff. But anyways, so I'm not crazy.
Yeah, but sometimes your insurance cases turn into finding out that people are cheating.
They really do.
You're like, damn it, I thought I was getting away from it.
But the cheating cases, they can be so sketchy and there's so much liability, right? So you never know what they're going to do with the information you give them. So the clients, I don't always trust and whatever. So I try not to take very many, but alas, I'm good at the job. So I always want to do what I can. And I hate to turn down someone who's like, hey, I got your name from so-and-so or so-and-so referred me to you. And I really want to find this out. And I'm like, how do I turn that down? Because I know what to do.
You also want to know.
I also am nosy as hell. So anyways, so this guy, so the husband is a big attorney. He works a lot and the wife understands that because attorneys work a lot. They sometimes work late hours. So she's never really questioned his long hours or whatever. So it's never been an issue for her. Okay. So she's like, all right, fine. Well, then he comes home, he's starting to ignore the house and kind of neglect the dogs and her and not really pay them much attention. And he's hiding the phone a little bit. And he's not really participating in sex with her. He's not really interested. He's kind of lost interest. He says, oh, I just don't, my libido, I'm just getting older, whatever. He's not.
And then he takes the phone in the bathroom and locks the door. Great.
Yeah,
love
right.
That.
And she said that he had a high sex drive. He's always had a high sex drive. And so it was weird that he wasn't showing any interest and he was talking about his libido. And she's like, something doesn't track, the math ain't mathin', right?
And so that was how long had that lull in their marriage been going on? I want to know what.
So about 6 months.
It takes a lot to go to a private investigator.
Well, what happens normally is they don't notice it until they do. And when they do, they go back and realize how long it's been happening. So they're like, gosh, this is happening for, whatever. And so they start to kind of put the pieces together, right? So he's hiding the phone a little bit, not doing the sex thing. And she's like, he's not into me. What's going on? He's working late. Well, she also said that he's also a little bit lazy. So for him to work all the time was super weird. He has worked that late, but not consistently. She's like, he's kind of a lazy guy. He's not someone who's going to stay. So to paint the picture for you, because I know you're going to ask, they're in their early 40s. They have no kids, right? It's just a single couple living their best life. They've got groups of friends that they hang out with regularly and they go to, double dates and all this stuff. Nothing crazy.
Does she work?
No, she doesn't work. Well, by this point, I'm nosy. I'm curious. I really want to know what's going on myself. I have nothing better to do. So let's see what's going on. To be fair, they're not always cheating. And to be honest, often they're not cheating, or at least I don't catch them cheating. So oftentimes I don't see anything happening. And so this could be just a run of the mill, I think, but I'm not sure. And then nothing ever happens. And then it's a dead surveillance and whatever.
Quince. What if we just said the name for the whole ad?
Quince.
Hey, at first I wasn't sure how to pronounce it. It is Quince, Quince.
It's not Quince, Quince.
Not Quince.
It's Quince.
Do you know what Quince is, everybody? Mackenzie, tell them what it is.
Quince. So Quince is a website where you can go to get the best basics for anything, like Mongolian cashmere sweaters from $50. Okay, just for example. But also, wait, there's more. Jewelry and
they've got bags,
throw blankets. Yeah, they have bags.
Oh
they
yeah,
have
home goods, travel,
shoes,
accessories.
Yes, suitcases, all kinds. Like literally they have everything. And I love them because everybody needs those staple basic pieces. So that's probably my favorite part. But Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. So think really good quality, but for way less than like half the price.
The way they do that is by working in the same factories that these name brands develop their products, and they have basically the same product without the logo. Like you're getting the same high quality product as if you were to spend a lot more, and it's Quince. So I literally can speak to the comparison because I got a bag that I'd been eyeing from a name brand that my mom had and my brother's girlfriend had, and then I got the Quince version, and I was like, guys, mine is just as good.
So much less expensive. and I really am looking forward to, well, I'm in Florida, so maybe not really, but the weather does get a little cooler. And you're thinking, it's even in Florida, and think like slipping into a cozy sweater from Quince. I have a really beautiful cashmere sweater, which I love. It goes with everything. You can dress it up or dress it down. And then I got my best friend a throw blanket from there for a housewarming gift. And it's beautiful. She absolutely loves it. And like you said, by partnering with the top factories, they cut out the cost of the middleman, which is how you save the money.
And they make sure that they're using safe, ethical, responsible manufacturing practices, so you don't have to worry. Premium fabrics and finishes for the luxury feel that you want. It's really a great idea. And I think that it's become part of my routine. It's the first place I go when I want to buy something. Like I check Quince, which I think you should go swirl around because it might become that way for you too.
It's a good start. Get cozy in Quince's high quality wardrobe essentials. Go to quince.com/TDD for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/TDD to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/TDD. Your nighttime bedroom temperature has a huge impact on your sleep quality. I love doing the Miracle Made ads because my husband and I use these sheets. And if you wake up too hot or too cold, I highly recommend you check out Miracle Made's bed sheets. So they're inspired by NASA and use silver infused fabrics that are temperature regulating so you can sleep at the perfect temperature all night long. And you guys know I'm a makeup and skincare girl, and I'm all about taking care of your skin. Traditional bed sheets can harbor more bacteria than a toilet seat. And so if you're thinking of like sleeping, like you wash your face at night and go to bed and then you're sleeping on these bacteria sheets. Yeah. It can lead to acne, allergies, stuffy noses. It's just gross. Miracle Made offers a whole line of self-cleaning antibacterial bedding, like the sheets and pillowcases, comforters, and they prevent up to 99.7% of bacteria growth and require up to 3 times less laundry.
Which is great because I'm lazy.
They're designed for your skin. Like I said, stop sleeping on bacteria. So gross. And they are luxuriously comfortable without the high price tag of other luxury brands. And they feel as nice, if not nicer, than sheets used by some 5-star hotels. Go to trymiracle.com/TDD to try Miracle Made sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself or as a gift for your loved one, like your sweaty husband who sleeps sweaty at night, if you order today, you can save over 40%. And if you use our promo TDD at checkout, you'll get 3 free towels and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you'll get a full refund. Upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/TDD and use code TDD to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, that's trymiracle.com/TDD to treat yourself. Thank you, Miracle Made, for sponsoring this episode. So I do surveillance on this guy, and I stay at his office, which is in a plaza. So it's easy to spot. So there's like, his office is in a plaza. So like next door is like a pizza shop and then a barber shop, whatever, right? So it's like surrounded by all these other places. But his little attorney's office situation is the biggest suite in this plaza. So he's got like a really big, he's got the name on the door, the whole big thing, right? And it gets to be nighttime because he's staying there late. And so it's nighttime. The inside is illuminated so you can get a better view inside. his car's in the parking lot. So like I can see him moving around inside and I know that it's him. He's the only one there. I saw everybody else from the office leave. She told me who works there. I watched them all leave and then I stayed and watched him. So it's getting dark. I can start to see inside and his car's parked there. So I'm just waiting to see what he's going to do. Like, where's he going to go? Is he going to stay here the whole time? Like, is he really just working late? Well, she didn't have a specific night that she wanted surveillance done because he was just working late every night. So we just figured, let's just try it randomly and see what happens. Like just go on a random night. So I didn't tell her what night I was going. I just wanted it to be random and just choose a night that I was available and then go because I wanted it to be totally as random as possible. So you can be the least biased.
If I was like her hiring you and then just kind of like having to sit and be like, I'll wait and see. Like that's so much anxiety.
So much anxiety. But she was like, I don't know what night to tell you to go because like I don't know what night to tell you. Like she would drive by. But it's also good. Car there.
It's good you don't tell her when exactly you're going so she doesn't show up and freak out. Like
yes, because they be ruining my surveillance sometimes. And I'm like,
no, if you're going to pay Mackenzie to do her job, let her do her job.
Well, because it was a random night, we had nothing to anticipate. We didn't know what was going to happen, right? So anyways, so now it's like 8:00 by this time and you can see that the guy's walking around in his office. He goes and sits down at his desk. Like you can see what he's doing. Well, there's this big truck that pulls in to the parking lot and parks right next to his car, right? And these 3 big dudes get out of the truck and I'm like, what the hell? What's going on? Who are these people? Like big dudes, leather jackets, and one had some kind of flames tattooed on his bald head or something. Like it was wild. And so they knock on the front door of the office and they're pressing their face to the glass. like, hey, like I'm here, like doing the thing with the hands and the face and the glass. Yeah. And I'm like, you can see in. I can see from the parking lot. You can totally see in. There's no need. I think that they wanted him to see their face or something. I don't know. It didn't make sense.
They're trying to intimidate them?
Maybe, but you could totally see inside. So I was like, that's weird. And I did think that. I was like, they're trying to like intimidate him or something.
Maybe they were trying to blow on the glass so they could like draw a little heart,
smiley face
and send a message.
And I was, and like, you never know what's going to happen. And I'm like, is this going to be a robbery? What's happening? But these 3 dudes wouldn't just like get out all willy-nilly and go like walk up to the door.
Yeah, robbers don't usually stop and press their face up against the glass.
I know, like they're not going to leave the evidence. So my guy comes to the door and you can see in his face that he was not waiting for them, but he wasn't surprised. He just kind of looked at them and he kind of hanged his head down a little bit and, opens the door and lets them in. Like he was like dreading that they're there. And then I'm thinking, listen, these guys are clients. Like they're dressed like biker dudes, but they're kind of nice looking. Like maybe they're just like corporate clients or something, right? Like I know I'm just making assumptions, right? I don't know what to make of it because I don't know if the clients, they're coming to see their attorney late at night. No clue. Like, is that how attorneys work? I have no idea. I don't know. I
Observe and report.
Yes. Paul Blart. So they walk out of view into an office that is out of the view of the window. So like into one of the offices. And about 15 minutes later, they leave together in the truck that the guys had come in, right? And the guys, like I said, they're dressed nice, but they're still wearing jeans and polo button down to like their leather jacket. Or like they look decent, okay? And my guy is wearing his slacks, like you would imagine, a professional. He's wearing his slacks, his long sleeve, professional attire he's got his loose tie. Like, he's in for the night. Like he's loosening up and he's just finishing up some work. It's how he was dressed. But when they left, he was still dressed like that. Like he didn't tighten his tie. He didn't take it off. Like
he didn't change into his leathers.
Yeah, he didn't put on like a blazer. Like his sleeves were rolled up 3/4. Like
I'm imagining like them shoving him in the back of a van. That's not what's happening, right? He gets in willingly.
That's what was gonna happen. I was like, are they gonna shove him in like the bed of this truck? Like, what's gonna happen?
Oh my God.
Yeah. So okay, real quick, what are your thoughts?
Well, that was the first thing, but it sounds like he's going with them. So I'm like, are they in a gang? Does he owe people money? Does he have a secret orgy that he goes to with these fun boys that he doesn't want his wife to know about? I don't know that he's cheating. It sounds like he might not be cheating though. So I'm curious.
Okay. What was interesting was before he left the office, he turned the blinds on the windows so that you couldn't see in anymore, but the lights were still on. So you could still kind of see into the office, but unless the blinds are open, you can't see like the movement or whatever. You can just see that it looks like someone's probably in the office because all the other lights in the plaza are just normal. Like there's nothing.
So maybe he wants, like, if his wife were to come by or something, or somebody to go by, he wants them to think that he's there.
Yeah, I was like, maybe, so whatever, right? So that's important. So the lights are on, okay? And he leaves. And the blinds are closed. So I know that he closed up shop, like on the windows, he closed the blinds, right? Well, the wife told me that she had driven by the office several times over the last couple months when she was concerned. She saw his car. She saw that the lights were on, didn't think anything of it. So she's just like, he's working late. Like, he's got to just be working late, right? And then as it happened more and more, he had this weird behavior. So she got more and more suspicious. And that's when she got to me, right? So now we're at that point. Well, I follow the truck. I want to see where the guys are going. Like, I want to kind of paint a picture and determine, okay, step by step, what's happening. If I were to write this in a report, I need it to make sense. So I'm going to follow them and see where he goes.
What kind of truck?
He's not with a woman. It's like one of those big, like 4-door, what do you call it? Like a crew cab, like lifted pick 'em up truck. And it's like big, it's got the big like bar light on the front, like cowboy.
Oh, gee. Okay. Got it.
Wild. Yeah. Okay. It was overcompensating for sure, but it's fine. So, well, I'm thinking, okay, they pick their friend up from work and they're like, dude, let's go to the bar. Let's go get a drink. Let's go get something to eat, whatever. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to follow them. At this point, I'm just interested to see, where are we going?
But where's he going? Yeah.
Right? I mean, unless, like you said, unless he's cheating on her with these 4 dudes, which would be wild, but like,
that would be a new one for us, but it is not unheard of.
Let's calm down. Listen, there's another story for those days. Like, I've got more stories about that stuff.
Dating detectives after dark. Let's go.
That should be a series. So I'm thinking maybe he's doing the menage with these like 4 guys, whatever. So I follow the truck and they go to the casino. There's bars and restaurants inside, clubs, whatever. And I'm like, oh, they're going to the casino. They're going to hang out. They can go eat. They can go get drinks, whatever. Guys are going to the casino. Guys go to the casino together all the time. But what is it about this that like he leaves the light on, he leaves his car, like he's working late every night? It's really, really weird. So they park, right? And I park and they walk into the casino. I walk in right behind them. They go down the elevator. I go down the elevator, whatever. When you walk into the front door, there's like a lobby and then all you hear is clink, 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 all the casino, all the slot machines. And they're just ding, 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 right? And then you smell cigarette smoke and like it smells like Maxine in there, okay? Like cigarettes and ding, ding, ding. And it's a headache, okay? They walk in and there's so many people in here. So we walk in and there's a private room that was like, I thought it was security or something, like it's the security office. And I'm like, what are they doing? Like, what's going on? Like, and then I'm thinking these are his clients. Like they're going into the security, like they're in trouble for something and he's going to help them get out of it or whatever. He's an attorney. Like they're going to have a meeting with somebody. So I walk into this private room that I thought was security. But it's like a private like poker room or something. I don't know. I don't gamble, so I don't go to the casino much.
But I know the feeling of like going to the back room to meet the mob boss kind of.
It reminds me of Fast and Furious when they put the rat in the bucket and let it eat through the guy's stomach. Like, or is that what's going on there? Like,
girl, I've never seen that movie, but I did not guess that was in it. I thought it was just vroom vroom.
So anyways, I don't know. Is it a private poker? I have no idea. Do they have private poker rooms? I have no idea. So I still don't know what kind of room it is. But anyways, they walk in there together and I can see and hear that there's a bunch of other people in there, but I can't tell how many people. It just sounds like a bunch of chatter. You hear a bunch of dudes talking, like a low rumble of voices just talking. But then there's the ding, ding, ding. So you can't really hear what's going on. And then as the door closed, as they were going in, you could see other people, but you just can't. It's not like it wasn't very, you can't really tell very much because the door is closing. So I decide I'm going to figure out what the hell this room is. And I'm like,
yeah, what do you do?
Like,
how do you get in?
Yeah, at this point, I'm like, what the crap? And you can't just like walk in all willy-nilly. You can't just go in. So I'm trying to gather some intel, right? But you can't just ask people outright, like, hey, I'm a private investigator. I want this information, right? You got to give me this info. Nobody's going to tell you jack crap. You have to kind of play it coy.
I know. I'm like, who's Mackenzie going to flirt with?
Oh, the down low. I do be flirting. I do be flirting.
I used to feel like my beauty products were just not made for me until I found Prose. And I'm very excited to update you on my Prose journey through this ad. So what Prose is, it makes beauty personal because it's custom formulas that could not exist without you. Literally, my name is printed on the bottles. It makes me feel very important. It's made to order. You do an in-depth consultation, covers everything from your beauty goals to the weather, to the water where you live, anything they need to know. Prose,
uses naturally powerful and proven effective ingredients and select from over 185 clean ingredients to put a formula together that's for your specific concerns and your goals. I have dry hair, and I've always thought I just had a weird textured hair that was kind of like I couldn't solve it. It's made such a difference. My hair feels so much easier to work with, and it's shinier, and it can go with less styling. I also love that they have styling products if I want to use it. And I know that it's like designed for my hair and clean. There's a hair gel that I got. There's the conditioning mask that I do before my shampoo. And then also, oh my God, they do skincare. And I got my custom fit cleanser this time. Guys, I use my own money. Like, I'm not messing around. Custom cleanser, custom serum, custom moisturizer I got, and they have other options too. And I love it. It's so clean, sensitive skin. This will make a huge difference for you. It's worth the try, especially since they're giving us like a huge, huge deal. Also, if you don't love your first order, it's on Pros. Their customer service is really good. They work with you to adjust it so that you like it. And Pros is so confident that you'll love your results that they're offering our listeners an exclusive trial offer, 50% off your first hair care subscription order at pros.com/TDD. That's PROSE.com/TDD for your free consultation and 50% off your custom routine. Pros.com/TDD. As always, all of these details are in the show notes. It's really fun. I like it.
Spark something uncommon this holiday with just the right gift from Uncommon Goods. I'm so excited about this one because I didn't hear much about this before, so I'm really excited.
I'm excited too, but I'm also a little like, oh my God, we're doing holiday ads already.
Can you believe it? The busy holiday season is here, and Uncommon Goods makes it less stressful with incredible hand-picked gifts for everyone on your list all in one spot. And these are gifts that spark joy, wonder, delight, and you know that gift that's like, that's exactly what I wanted. I love those kinds of gifts.
Think about the person in your life that's like really hard to get gifts for too. Maybe they have everything or they don't need, you know what I mean? Like they just are so picky.
Yes.
You will find something on Uncommon Goods. And they have everything. When you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists, small independent businesses. There's tons of handcrafted products, some made in like small batches, so you can shop now before they sell out, just saying. But it's like unique stuff, you know?
They're high quality, they're unique, they're handmade, made in the US. They have the most meaningful, out of the ordinary gifts anywhere. So uncommon. They even have gifts you can personalize. And I love personalized gifts because I love gifts that are like, oh, this is me. And also think holiday parties. So host and hostess gifts, the coolest gifts for kids, and just hits for everyone from book lovers, diehard sports fans. Uncommon Goods has something for everyone.
I got my grandpa a gift from here. It was for his birthday. It was a book of New York Times front pages on the date of his birthday.
I love those.
Yeah, from the day he was born to now. And it was super cool. They have so many things like that.
I really love that. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give back $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. And they've donated more than $3 million to date, which holy bananas. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/TDD. That's uncommongoods.com/TDD for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we are all out of the ordinary. So I sit at one of the penny slot machines next to this private room, and I'm able to just watch the door and see who comes in and out. And meanwhile, there was this group of other dudes that had come out. There was like one guy that came out and then he went back in, and then this other guy had come out, and then like two guys came out, whatever. Well, I found my target audience. It was this younger group of guys that was about my age that I knew I could flirt with to get some information.
I knew it. I knew she was going to flirt.
So this group of dudes, there's just three dudes that had come out. And so I was just kind of got up from the slot machine that I was sitting at, and I started walking behind them like really, really closely because I wanted to eavesdrop and hear what they were saying and do anything that I could to get more information. Like maybe they were going to talk about what's happening in this private room that I have no idea what it is. And at this point, I'm like, what is the secret sauce in this room? I got to know what's going on in here. So I'm walking behind these dudes and I'm trying to eavesdrop, but all you hear is the clink, 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 clink of the machines. So I couldn't hear what they were saying. And I was like, this isn't going to work out. But they kept gesturing towards the room. And like the one guy that pointed his thumb, you can tell they were talking about what was going on in there, right? So I couldn't pick up what they were saying. So I did what I do. Okay. I literally straight up asked them, like I walked up behind them and I grabbed my lip gloss from my purse and I'm putting it on my lips. Because when you use your hands to your face or something, it's a distraction.
I've heard that. If you are ever on a date and you do want to show that you're like a little into somebody, just like brush your mouth with your...
Yeah, do the hand movements. It's a distraction and it catches their attention, right? And so I literally straight up asked them as I'm putting my lip gloss on, I said, what is that room? I said, is this like some kind of champagne room? And how come I didn't get an invite?
You're so good.
And I flirted with them a little bit, a lot. I flirted with them a lot. And I was like, I feel like I always get left out of the champagne room. I need to know, what is this room? I saw so many people going in there and I just feel so left out, like, haha, whatever. Well, one of the guys that was standing closest to me looked at the other guy to his right, and I'm standing on his left, right? So he looked at that guy. That guy looked back at him, and their eyes both got really wide. And I was like, okay. And then he looked back at me with his wide eyes, and he said, you don't want to know what happens in that room. And I'm like,
what kind of shady shit is going down?
So my heart starts racing and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you've seen those movies where they're like trafficking and they're like auctioning off women and children. I'm like, no way. Like, what the?
Did you see any women go in? It's all been men.
No, it was all men. That's all I saw. But I didn't see who was in there to begin with. I just saw, I know that I saw dudes, but I don't know. And so I was like, this is really weird. And like that, it was just, have you ever seen that movie Rat Race where they're like, the guys are like in the room and they're like betting on who's going to win the race or what? It's like,
yes,
it's crazy.
Wait, I do kind of want to like at this moment, people listening, stop and take note of what you think is going on in the room.
Yeah. What do you think is going on?
I don't really, I mean, like that's what I'm imagining just, I'm so naive, Mackenzie. You know me. I'm like,
me too.
Are they just playing poker and betting in ways that's illegal? Like, yeah, or is it the mob? I don't know. But I do want to hear what people's guesses are before they get to the end. So mental note, everyone.
Mental note. What is your guess? Okay. So I'm still flirting and I'm like, oh, come on, tell me. I said, what did I not get invited to? That's so not fair. I feel so left out. And then I kind of batted my eyelashes and I'm like, oh my God, come on, just tell me. Well, the other guy decided that he was annoyed with me, but he also kind of wanted to flirt with me, right? So he pushes the other guy to the side, steps in front of him, and he's flirting back a little bit. He's like, hey, listen, you don't have anything to worry about, gorgeous, unless you owe one of those fellas money.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no. And I was like, wait, is my attorney a shark? Like, does someone owe him money or does he owe someone else money? They came and got him from his office. Like, based on just by appearances alone, he owes somebody some money, honey.
Yeah. Right? The fact that he was also walking out with like his head low, like,
yeah, he's ashamed, right? And I was like, oh my God. Well, at this point, I knew that he was not cheating at all. Like, he was just in trouble with gambling or something. Like, he owed somebody
this could be bad enough that she might wish that he was. I mean,
she might wish that he was. Exactly. So I ended up going back to the slot machine to wait by the room. And I think by that time, I had probably missed him coming out somehow because I sat there for a couple hours and a lot of people came and went, but not him nor the other guys that came to pick him up came out of the room. So I kind of chalked it up to I missed him at some point. Maybe when I was talking to those guys, maybe he had come out, whatever, or he was still in there. Either way, I decided to leave the surveillance at the casino and go back to his office and sit there and wait for him to see if the car is there, whatever.
Good. Yeah. Hours went by, you said? So it's like midnight?
Yeah, it was like 2.5 hours by this time. So it's like almost 11 o'clock at night. Okay. So I go back to his office and his car was still there, but the lights were off. So I'm like, okay, this is a little weird. Because remember when he left, he made it a point to leave the lights on. Like, he did the curtains and everything. But like, you leave the lights are on, but yet you leave them on. And now all of a sudden they're off. So I'm like, okay, this is really weird. So I sat there in the parking lot. I texted my client. She said she had no idea where she was. Like, I told her what happened so far, but I didn't want to scare her. So I didn't tell her what the guys had told me. I just said he was at the casino with some guys, right? So I decided I'm going to sit a little longer at the office because that car has to go somewhere. Well, she texted me about 20 minutes later and she says, he's home. Let's talk tomorrow. So at this point,
that's what I was wondering.
I'm relieved that he is not like dead. Okay. So, and I was like, oh my God, like if they have killed him on my watch, I will absolutely pass away. So I was so glad that he was home and that he was safe. So I was like, all right, she'll text me tomorrow and give me the lowdown, right? So the next day comes and she texts me in the morning and she tells me that he told her that he had met up with some friends. They got some drinks and the friends ended up bringing him home. And that's why he was late. And that's why he left his car, was that he had just gone with his friends to get a drink. But he didn't tell her he went to the casino. He just said they went to a bar and he named the bar that was like down the road or whatever. He told her that it was really last minute. They didn't really have any plans, but he decided to go with the guys, whatever. And she believed him. Like he was like, I was with the guys. Like, I don't know what you mean tell you, whatever. And she was like, I believe him because I told her that he was with the guys. So she was like, well, I would have believed him anyways.
But you didn't say that he was at the casino. You did say he was at the casino, right? Or did you not?
Yeah, but he told her that he was at the bar.
Which is, so she's like, did she think he was lying about where he was?
Yes. Yeah. So she knew that he was lying because I told her they went to the casino. He told her we went to the bar.
Okay. I thought you were like, she just believed him and didn't believe me, but.
Well, no, she believed that he was with the guys, but she already knew that he went to the casino. And so she thought that maybe he just didn't want to tell her he went to the casino. So after she told me that, I asked her to meet with me in person and we met for lunch. And the reason I wanted to meet with her in person is because I want to control the reaction or the response. So whenever I tell her, hey, this is what these guys said to me, I want to make sure she's there with me so I can make sure that the liability is limited.
Yes.
So I can, make sure that she's there, that she's safe, that she's not doing anything crazy or outlandish. Like I want to make sure to control that narrative. Yeah. So I said, listen, this is what these guys told me. And I told her that the guy said, you don't have to worry about anything unless you owe that guy money, right? I said, I don't know if it means anything, but this is really concerning to me because I don't want anything to happen to him. So now that I feel like there could be potential danger, I wanted to get in front of it so that nothing happened to him. Because if I'm doing a surveillance and I know that someone has told me, even if they've just told me, even as a joke, that this is dangerous, like, oh, if you owe somebody money, you could get hurt or whatever, and I don't say anything, that's on me. And so I have to take, even if what the guys told me about, oh, if you don't owe anybody money, you don't got to worry about it. Even if that was a joke or them being silly, that's still serious to me. That's still something that could be really dangerous. So I'm trying to do the right thing. And I said, listen, something's wrong. I'm worried about him and his safety, but I think you need to hire a forensic accountant because I feel like he could possibly owe some people money. And that's really bad. So forensic accountants are basically CPAs that look for evidence of crimes, and they usually work for insurance companies and financial institutions, law enforcement agencies, whatever. But I happen to know one personally that decided to jump in on this case. And so a forensic accountant will dig deep and they'll find where everything goes. So I help her get in touch with a forensic accountant who I know and is able to look at their finances. And the forensic accountant comes across $1.2 million tied up assets. And we worked together to basically figure out that he had gambled away their home, their car, and everything. He was trying to get it back before the wife found out. So he had gambled everything away. So him working late at night, he really was working late nights because he was trying to make up. So he was trying to do more work and build more money from his clients so that he could make up the money. But how do you make up 1.2 mil? Like, how do you do that, right?
Yeah, you can't do that with a couple nights working overtime.
No, so he's working the last couple months late at night, not because he's cheating, but because he's trying to pay this back. And in the meantime, in order to earn that money back, he was not only gambling more, because he had to gamble more to earn some of that money back, right? But he's also helping them do drug deals. So
I didn't say it, but I was thinking it.
So he was helping them to do drug things on the side that would put the liability on him and not them. So basically, if he got busted, it wouldn't be on the, like he's like a mule or something. That's when like law enforcement got involved. So then I was kind of like, they just used my information. And I'm talking all their money, their home, their cars, all their things, their assets, their boats, multiple boats.
Oh my God, this poor woman. What did she say?
So he had gambled all these things away, and that had been going on for 6 months. Well, she didn't have any idea because she doesn't pay the bills. He brings home the money, and she has a credit card that she uses every month that, according to her, was getting paid off every month, or as far as she knows. but it wasn't getting paid off. She was just racking up a huge credit card debt.
Oh,
and he was telling her that he was paying it off. So now they have like $100,000 something Amex that she's just racked up doing whatever. Now they have all this debt. And this has been going on for like 6 months, right? To this day, I still don't know what happened in that room. I don't know when they left or if they were still in there when I left thinking that I lost them. But I didn't end up doing any more surveillance. Yeah, I didn't end up doing any more surveillance because she was forced to confront him just like for his safety. And by this point, law enforcement has to get involved, right? So this was several years ago. And as of right now, as far as I can tell, based on my research, they have no homes or cars in either of their names. So I'm assuming they lost those assets. Like they have nothing in their names, nothing. I'm not entirely sure why or what happened. And I just know that according to public records, they have nothing in their name right now. And I don't know if they did that on purpose. Like maybe they transferred everything into someone else's names or if they lost their ass, like for realsies. But they are still legally married. And as far as I can tell, they both share a residence that is owned by someone else. So basically they're renting from someone. So I have a feeling that they really did lose their ass, but they are still married legally.
Wow.
Yep. He squandered every penny they had, every asset, their home, everything. Their boats.
That's so sad.
Yeah. Their toys, their side by side, everything. She lost her horses. Everything. And I guess I just feel like the wife is the ultimate victim because she lost everything and didn't know. She said, I don't usually do anything with the bank account. Like he pays the bills and as far as she knew, she was living their house was under foreclosure. Like she had no idea. She was just living there all willy-nilly. She had no idea. They were losing everything.
I don't know what I would do in that situation if I found out my husband was.
I just can't believe they're still
gambling.
legally married. And this is long enough ago that they could have gotten divorced by now. So like the fact that they're still together legally is like, and I don't know if maybe like, I don't know, like when you love somebody, like, you know.
Well, yeah, of course. We don't know him. We don't know his addiction. We don't know their relationship. But I do know that it is very hard to start your life over. And it sounds like she didn't have a full-time career. She was relying on him.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Like it's two hard options. You either stay with this person and figure it out, or you have to start over, whether you're dealing with gambling, abuse, whatever it is. I mean, I have a lot of empathy for people who have to make that decision. It's not as easy. It's so easy to throw around. Why do you stay?
It's because it's so hard to leave.
Girl, I'm so worried about her. I want her to be, I hope he stopped gambling. I hope he got help.
Yeah, same. Like, but that's so scary too, right? Like, how do you, oh my God.
I am so grateful. I grew up outside of Atlantic City, and all of my friends' parents worked in the casino and hotel business. And it turned so much of us off from gambling. We were all like, not interested. Like, it was so gross. And I feel for the people that have gambling problems, but it's like,
that stuff you see in the movies, right?
Right? This like feels like it's so crazy that this is real life, that you get in a little bit and then a little bit more. And then all of a sudden you're a drug mule with no asset.
Yeah. You're like, can I borrow 10 G's to play this poker game? And then you lose it. Before you know it, you're 1.2 mil in debt. And these people own your house, your cars, and oh my God.
And you're getting in a van with Mr. Flamethrower and just lying to your wife. Like, that is devastating.
I'm just glad there were no kids involved. Like, I'm so glad there were no kids. Oh my God. I'm so glad. And these people are my age. And I think about, I can't imagine being in that position. I would die. There's no way.
That's so scary also because of the people that you're doing quote unquote business with.
Yeah.
That's not regulated. Obviously, these people can do whatever they want to get what money they are owed. And gosh, dang it. What about those men that you were like walking around the casino with? Those dumb guys that are like, don't know. Like that's so
what
scary.
Were all those people doing in there? Were they all drug mules? Were they all sharks? Were they all gambling addicts? Who are these people? I have so many questions, but I do not want to know the answers. Because if this ever goes to court, like it's still, I've never gone to court on this.
Well, I was going to ask, do you know if there was any like law enforcement charges that went down?
he got charged with a bunch of stuff, but I was never asked for my evidence. I was never asked for anything.
Well, I'm sure he was too afraid to give any names or anything. Like, it sounds like,
yeah.
Like, do you know anything about the people he was working with? Like, that doesn't sound, that's probably still going strong.
Yeah, I just can't, like, I can't imagine. I would shit my pants every day in fear.
Yeah. How fun that this accountant got to have such a good, like, forensic accountants. We really shit on accountants for being boring. This guy, accountants can have a good time.
Dude, and forensic accountants, I happen to know one personally.
They're probably seeing some crazy stuff. Can we talk to them on Patreon? I have questions.
Oh, that would be so fun.
A forensic accountant. I mean, I don't know. I need to do more research, but like, it feels like a lot of money stuff leads to the issues that these dogfish, like, it's a web, you know, like when you have a dogfish, it's not uncommon that there's money stuff involved. I also wonder how a forensic accountant might be able to help people that are trying to get out of marriages or get out of situations where their money's tied up in it. I don't know if that's like exactly what they do, because that's more like divorce lawyers and stuff, but I'm sure they have experience and advice. Should I become a forensic accountant? Just kidding.
You should.
I can't. No, I couldn't.
But I love the criminal aspect of things. So like, accountant is like boring, but forensic accountant.
I know. If anybody ever tells you, if to all the kids out there that want to be accountants, we believe in you, and you can have fun with that. Don't let anybody tell you you're boring.
I want to know if any of our listeners have any experience with gambling addictions, or if any of you have experienced a family member or someone you know that has gone through something like this. Like, I want to hear those stories. How common is this? You know, I want to know.
Oh, it's such a sad, sad rabbit hole that I feel like I can't it's hard to even understand, but it makes sense that you just a little bit is all it takes to lead you down a really difficult path. And this guy had to lie. Slope. He probably felt like he had no other option. I have plugged this podcast before. It's called Money for Couples. I'm a big fan. And it's this guy who is like a financial, not advisor, but he's a financial planner perhaps. And he sits down with couples and he goes through their situation, and it becomes like therapy. It's very emotional. The reason I'm recommending it is because I think it's so important that we have our conversations with our partners about money, no matter how you choose to manage your money together.
Yeah.
He is a really great resource for how to have those conversations.
I didn't know that even existed. That's awesome.
It's so smart. And my boyfriend and I, we listen to it and we talk about it all the time. And it's been great for us because it leads to those conversations. You're like, wow, that couple was dealing with this thing that we would never think about. But like, how would we handle that if we did? I mean, this is an extreme case. I'm sure he would have a lot to say, but Money for Couples is the name of that podcast. And it is very interesting. And I really think that people need to be empowered to have those conversations so they don't get screwed over.
I like it.
Or so they just work well together. It just makes life easier when you're on the same page as your partner.
Yeah, of course. No, that's a good suggestion. Money for Couples. I like it.
Money for Couples.
I'd be
now I'm like, I want to go walk around the casino in Tampa and look for secret rooms and be like, what's going on, guys? Just kidding. They'd kill me. They'd be like, who is this little girl?
Well, what I wanted to do was open the door real fast and be like, hey, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Is this not the book club meeting? And then like, just...
Hey, what a great transition, Mackenzie, because we have our Patreon book club coming up.
Oh, that is
look at that. And we will be meeting at the back champagne room of the casino.
Oh, that is so funny.
Just kidding. It's virtual. But
kidding,
that's a reminder. We're reading The Husband's Secret by Leanne Moriarty, and I'm almost done, and it's really good. And we wanted to start a book club on Patreon that will be a variety of books, but all to do with stuff that we talk about, you know, like
Oprah does it, so can we.
Yeah, literally. What's the difference?
Literally.
And what date do we have that happening? I can look it up so people know when they have to finish their homework. Just kidding. It's literally the best homework. I think we said November 24th. Molly, jump in if I am in.
That's for the book club meeting?
Yeah, we're going to do like a live stream on Patreon and talk about the book. So our Patreon will have that. And we've also posted an update about a previous episode that was
Wait, what time on the 24th?
6 p.m. Eastern is when we're doing our book club on the 24th. It is The Husband's Secret by Leanne Moriarty. And I am listening to it in the audiobook. And I really like the lady that reads the audiobook. She's very good at voices. And it's Australian, so she's an accent.
Ooh, I do love a good kangaroo accent.
Oh, it's good. I'm very excited for that. And for our Patreoners, as we said at the beginning, thank you for contributing and supporting and talking. I mean, our chat, and also DM us all your thoughts and feelings, book recommendations, predictions about this story that you had in the middle
where did
of
you
it.
think this story was going? And if you knew where it was going, when did you know? Like,
yes,
I had no idea. Like, maybe I'm just naive, but I didn't think, I was like, no way. That only happens in movies. So I was like, there's no way that's happening. Even though I thought it, I was like, no way.
I really was kind of thinking of The Godfather, of like everybody going back into the room. Like,
yeah,
you come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding. Sorry,
I have so many questions.
So many questions. Too many Q's, not enough A's. But that was a good one, Mackenzie. They're always good.
We want to hear your stories too. So make sure you're emailing us your stories. And even if sometimes they don't make the live feed for whatever reason, we still like to try and catch them on the Patreon. So you can email them to us. I know oh boy.
You got to do it. We're working on this.
Email us at investigate@thedatingdetectivespodcast.com. Is that right?
That was so good.
Is it right? I could never know if it was the S's or the.
I'm so proud.
Do you add the investigate@thedatingdetectivespodcast.com. I can do it now all by myself. And I like it.
When you email us, put in the subject exactly some details of your story. Don't just be like, I got dogfished. We're like, yeah, so true. We get that for sure. But give us a little detail and bullet points or a description of the story in the body of the email. And I love,
like, my dogfish was actually a fish or something. Like, tell us the
oh, please. If you got dogfished by a fish, maybe they went fishing and they thought they caught a fish, but then it was something else. That's a dog. That would be a fish.
But this episode is Mackenzie Undercover, the dog shark. Dogfish, dog shark, dogfish, or dog shark.
Oh, the dog shark.
I like
There's the title. The dog shark. The lawyers are a dog shark. I don't know. We'll think about it.
He was the bad boy that owed money. I don't know.
Poor
we
thing.
don't. I'm not in charge of titling these, and it's probably rightfully so, because y'all would be like, "That's a dumb title," and that would be every episode.
Say you get picked up in a van with 3 big dudes, and you know you owe money. What do you say?
I always make jokes that they would want to give me back so fast. They'd be like, "Please shut up."
I feel that way too.
I'd be like, "You guys, I gotta pee. I have really bad cramps. I have to poop."
Are you guys hungry?
Does your mom know what you do for a living? Like, how's she doing?
Did that hurt when you got that flame tattooed on your bald head?
Are you from around here? I like your jacket. Where'd you get that? I can get it for you at a discount. Like, if you
They'd throw you out. They would.
I like your jeans.
You out.
This van is a little dirty. Can you take it to the car wash? I can't.
Guys, be annoying. Be weird. Don't be embarrassed
weird,
to be weird,
be
and
annoying. Stay alive.
Stay alive.
Thank you, Ashley Flowers from Crime Junkie Podcast, who
Yes.
said, "Be weird, be rude, stay alive."
Hey, we're being weird. We've got that down.
Yeah.
But I want everybody's thoughts on this. I want everybody's thoughts on this story.
We love you, and join the Patreon. It's $5 a month. Go to the show notes for the Patreon link. And we really appreciate you listening and being here. And as always, trust your femme tuition.
Love you guys.
Bye.